Norfolk Arts Awards on Mustard TV, sponsored by Norwich High School for Girls. Proud to celebrate and support the arts in Norwich and Norfolk.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
This is a good intro, isn't it?
It is. It's nothing like a warm entry. So lovely to see you all here this evening. And it's so nice to be in this venue tonight, isn't it?
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah. With the most glorious backdrop, though you can't see it, in Norfolk. And it's nice to welcome you this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries, VIPs, honoured guests, sponsors and supporters, artists and creative spirits of Norfolk, welcome to the Hostry Festival's annual gala event celebrating the arts and culture in this fine and gorgeous county. I'm Nick Conrad from BBC Radio Norfolk, and this is my wonderful colleague, Chrissy Jackson. This is now the 5th year of these awards, and as many of you will know who've been here now for half a decade, time most certainly flies. What was once a germ of an idea has now festered into a much admired and supported project. I'm just reading the script. I will add the odd thing in now and then.
It is word for word.
It's now grown into this wonderful event. And the Hostry Festival seems to do this so well. It takes an idea and it incubates it, it grows it, and that's why it's so lovely to see so many of you here this evening to talk about some of these wonderful things that the Hostry Festival has been doing.
Before we get underway, I'd like to give special thanks to the sponsors of the Norfolk Arts Awards and the Hostry Festival, and to our individual award sponsors as well as all the supporters as well. So thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Please welcome to the stage Chris Rushby and Caroline Gerald to present the Gerald New Writing Award.
Hello, good evening. We're delighted to be sponsoring these awards, and the two nominees are Peter Tolhurst for the 3 monumental Norfolk Parish Treasures books, and Sarah Perry for the wonderful novel that is The Essex Serpent. You're an astute bunch of people, I can see, so you may have gathered that we're about to see a short film.
It's a 3-volume series called Norfolk Parish Treasures, and because there's so much material, what started off as a single book has ended up as 3 volumes on 3 different parts of the county. The first book I wrote when I set up Black Dog Books was a book it was called East Anglia, a Literary Pilgrimage. And I was particularly interested in the relationship between the Norfolk landscape and the writers and artists that it has inspired. So that set me off on a journey, and that journey has been 20 years. These 3 volumes have taken 10 years to research, do the field work, write, illustrate, and publish. I'm now working on a book on Norfolk folklore called This Hollow Land, which may be out next year or the year after, depends how it goes.
My debut novel is called After Me Comes the Flood, and it's the story of a very lonely man who lives alone in London and doesn't really have any warm relationships, and he drives up to the North Norfolk coast, but his car overheats and he becomes lost in a Norfolk forest, and looking for help, he comes across a large and rather dilapidated house, and a young woman runs down the steps and she says, "John, you are expected, all your luggage is here," and he has been mistaken for somebody else. And instead of saying there's been a mistake, it's not me, he lies and he pretends that he is the man they're expecting. After Me Comes the Flood won the Novel of the Year and the Book of the Year at the East Anglian Book Awards in 2014, and it was incredibly important to me because the novel is about the East Anglian countryside and about the particular beauty and the strangeness and the eeriness of the East Anglian coast. It was kind of a recognition that I belonged here and that East Anglia and Norfolk really is my home now, and something that inspires me artistically and is a wonderful place to be personally as well.
Do the great reveal, and the Gerald New Writing Award, the winner is Peter Tolhurst.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, what can I say? Turn up the books, I guess. When I first heard about this event, I thought, who needs another award ceremony? And then Chris Rushby said I'd been nominated. And I thought, Christ, what a good idea. Some bright spark has thought this up, and taking my hat off to him, really. I think it's fantastic. Of course, the reason for my reaction was I thought there'd be some money involved, because let's face it, it's not about the taking part, it's the winning. And I thought, well, there are bound to be a few book tokens or Gerald's gift tokens or something like that. But I don't think there are. Well, I guess there'll be a check in the post, so that's all right. Anyway, I just want to thank the John Jarrell Trust for sponsoring this award, with or without the book tokens, and Chris Rushby, who's the book supremo at Jarrell's, for nominating me, all the people at Black Dog Books for their help and support over the years, my friend Caroline Davison, who's put me right on more than one occasion, so thank you very much indeed. I'd like to dedicate this award to my new grandson, Alfie. He's a good old boy. Indeed, he's champion. And I guess, at least for this evening, I am too. So thank you very much.
Now, the next award is the Classical and Contemporary Music Award, sponsored by Norwich High School for Girls. To present the award, please welcome to the stage, from Norwich High School for Girls, Nick Tilly Nunn.
Good evening. The nominees for the Classical and Contemporary Music Award, sponsored by Norwich High School for Girls, are Lucy Pearson and Matthew Freeman. Let's find out more about them.
It started when I was probably about 10. And I found a program on my dad's computer called GarageBand, and it's a little piece of free software where you can just record simple MIDI, and there's drum loops and things like that. And I decided pretty much when I was 10 that I was going to write songs, and that's what I've done ever since. I suppose I've just been writing lots of music. I've had a local artist come to me for pop songs, and I've done some songs for her. I've had a lot of support from BBC Introducing. They've given me lots of radio play and things like that, so that's been a real boost for me. I think it is important for more females to get into the industry, especially because there are a lot of female singer-songwriters out there who need producers to record. It can be a bit uncomfortable working with a male engineer sometimes because they can't relate to them as much as maybe a female would their situation.
I was born in Great Yarmouth. I conduct and arrange music for orchestras. That involves creating a program, writing the music, orchestrating, the whole thing has been the way things have been going in recent years. I've worked with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra for quite a few years now. Probably, I think I can't remember the exact date we started. Early 2000s. That has led to my arranging and conducting performances of the symphonic rock that has subsequently been performed every year at the Albert Hall, and we've recorded 3 albums of that. I also put together a ABBA concert, ABBAphonic, which we've also performed and recorded, and we'll be doing that at the Albert Hall next May. And this past May we were performing Symphonic Queen.
And the winner of the Classical and Contemporary Music Award, sponsored by Norwich High School for Girls, goes to Matthew Freeman.
Well, congratulations to Lucy Pearson for her music, and I wish her every success, and I'm sure her career will flourish. It's particularly meaningful to me to receive a Norfolk Arts Award because my roots are so firmly in Norfolk, and I have a real sense of gratitude for the early years at school where I was afforded opportunities quite out of the blue to develop my musical ability. Teachers, various piano teachers, a headmaster, next door neighbour who'd haul me over every Saturday to accompany him with the piano while he practiced his French horn, crumb horn, oboe. My music master, the advice he gave me when I remember asking him telling him I wanted to be a musician, he firmly said, don't. But I think I was viewed that as a catalyst to be more determined in pursuing that. I'd like to also just celebrate the genius of Stash and Peter for all that they're doing with the Hostry events, and to my partner Katherine for putting up with a crazy musician. Thank you.
The next award is the Education and Community Award, sponsored by the 10 Group. Please welcome to the stage from the 10 Group, Dick Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. The nominees for the Education and Community Award, sponsored by the 10 Group, are Norwich Theatre Royal for Stage 2 and Adrian Connell of the Norfolk Youth Music Theatre. Before we reveal the winner, let's have a look at the films.
Stage 2 is going to be the headquarters of all the educational learning and participation muscle that the Norwich Theatre Royal currently has in its armoury. The core of the building is a black box theatre which will seat about 80 people. Then there's a rehearsal room, which is an absolutely up-to-date rehearsal room with full digital facilities. There's a training room because there are more jobs in the theatre on the technical side than there are on the acting side. And there is a rather wonderful light industrial space where we can make props and bits and pieces for the pantomimes and repair what goes wrong in the Theatre Royal itself. It's been 8 years in the making, and this will change the Theatre Royal irrevocably. Once you have a proper muscle, once you place the entire education department of a theatre in its own building with its own muscle, its own spaces, you've no idea where it's going to go. What we do know is that it will start to influence the programme and our connections with the community in ways we cannot begin to imagine at this stage.
Well, the Norfolk Youth Music Theatre started life in 1995 and was originally set up to draw in the talents of teenagers from right across the county of Norfolk and to give them an opportunity to perform the kinds of shows that I'd seen performed at the National Youth Theatre. We stage big production musicals like Miss Saigon, Phantom of the Opera, Les Miserables. And the shows have got more and more ambitious as time's gone by. The first show we did at Norwich Playhouse won us the NODA Best Production Shield for the Eastern region, which was no mean feat for a company that was 4 years old, manned entirely by teenagers and competing against all the adult societies in Norfolk. And since then it's gone on to win 5 Best Production Awards and has another 9 Best Musical, Best Youth Production and Best Young Performers Awards to its name.
And the winner of the Education and Community Awards, sponsored by the 10 Group, is Norwich Theatre Royal, Stage 2.
Well, thank you. It has been 8 years in the making. It is open. It is now busier than we ever hoped it would be at this stage. And what I said there, I believe that the Theatre Royal has as indeed all the arts do, have a major role to play in putting education and the arts back together again in spite of all political pressures otherwise. So thank you for this.
Each year, the executive producer of the Hostry Festival and the Norfolk Arts Awards provides a bursary for a young person, a singular one person, with a special gift in their art form. This person has made a commitment to a career in the arts and is richly deserving of this award to help fund his or her career development. Please welcome Peter Barrow to the stage to tell us about the person who is going to be receiving this year's Peter Barrow Award for Best Newcomer.
Matthew Freeman as good as called me a genius. I think it's hilarious. Would you like the bursary, Matthew? No. That was silly because our bursary winner this year is an aspiring actress, so by golly, she'll need it. The bursary is £500, by the way. Now, our bursary winner this year is an aspiring and passionate actress who has recently finished 3 years at City College, Norwich. For her final major performance, she got a special recognition for her role in Jane Eyre. She wants to fulfill her dream of being a professional actress who will bring joy to others who watch her perform. But I'm not going to say who she is quite yet, because we will now see her on the screen.
My name is Laura Room. I am an actress, not professional, but hopefully one day I will be. I've just finished 3 years at City College, Norwich, which honestly were the best 3 years of my life. I've always loved performing. Like, I always remember at first school, this is so embarrassing. In first school, I'd always get my friends, but oh guys, come around mine tonight. Let's do a dance. Tomorrow let's show a dance to the class. And we were like, the next day we were like, Miss, can we do a dance for you? And a couple of months ago, I did this short film with some students at City College, Norwich, and oh my gosh, it was such an experience. It was for the police. The last performance I was in with City College was, oh my god, incredible. Jane Eyre. I played Jane, which I was overwhelmed about. Like, how could I get the lead role in Jane Eyre? But it was the most challenging role I've ever had to undertake, and oh my God, was it worth it? Oh my gosh. I always will remember the last bow. I bowed and I took a deep breath and I was like, oh, I've done it. And I was like, it's 3 years of college done, and it's a bit emotional. I did shed a tear.
Welcome to the stage, Laura Room. Things like that.
You saw how bad I was talking on that. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say.
I'm so overwhelmed. Like, how have I got this? Why have I got this?
You were recommended.
But, oh my gosh, just thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough. Whoever said I was good enough to get this. Just thank you.
Well, our next performer is a very talented soloist from Norwich High School for Girls, Katherine Mcardle, and she's a member of the National Children's Orchestra, the Britten Symphonia Academy, and is an apprentice Aldborough Young Musician. In the 2016 Norfolk Young Musician Competition, she was awarded the Michael Badminton String Prize for the most promising young string player. Please, can you welcome Katherine to the stage? We're now going to move on to the Norfolk Icon Award, supported by Mustard TV. And this award was created to celebrate an individual or organisation that has reached national prominence with their work and help promote our county to a wider audience. To tell us more, please welcome Rob Setchell.
Good evening, everyone. I was supposed to have the lovely Kate Wincup with me, but she's ill tonight. And I asked Helen McDermott if she'd join me, but she said she had her hands full at the bar. And so it's just me, I'm afraid. But the winner of this year's Norfolk Icon Award is Zoe Telford.
It's Zoe Telford here. I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening. I'm away working in France. Not actually working there at the moment. This is a pre-record, so it's a very technical term. But I must say thank you so very, very much for being awarded the Norfolk Icon Award. Wow, Norfolk Icon Award. I hope I can live up to that. Presented by Mustard TV and the Norfolk Arts Awards. It's a real privilege for me to be recognised in this way by my hometown. I'm just really, really chuffed. Thank you all, and have a great evening, and don't get too drunk.
Next, we're going to move on to the Eastern Daily Press People's Choice Award. Each year, the general public are asked by the EDP to nominate their favourite artists, arts, organisations, venues and festivals. Those nominations are then reduced to the three highest nominations in the categories of Individual Artist, Best Small Organisation and Best Large Organisation. The public then vote for their favourite on each of those lists. This year, well over 8,000 votes were cast. So it's a phenomenal amount. Thank you to all of you who have voted. I should set down the barrel of the Mustard TV camera, shouldn't I? And indeed, I think we're recording this for BBC Radio Norfolk, so wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching, thank you to you if you took the time to nominate and indeed to vote. To read out the nominees and to find out who the winners are, please welcome to the stage the wonderful Stash Kirkbride and from the EDP, Emma Knights.
must pay tribute to Emma Knights and Peter Raven, who have been, as always, absolutely fabulously supportive of the Norfolk Arts Awards this year and the EDP team. The first category is the Best Large Organisation or Project Award, and the nominees are Cinema City and the NNF, Norfolk and Norwich Festival, and the King's Lynn Festival. Let's see the films.
We're a cinema in the centre of Norwich, and we show the best in quality mainstream, art house and foreign language films. The building's incredible. Obviously, I visit a lot of cinemas, and a lot of people from cinemas visit us as well, and there is no other cinema housed in a building like that. So, first off, the building's amazing. The programming, the choice of content on the screens is very varied. So we can have anything from NT, National Theatre productions, to Royal Opera House, or straight down to kind of the latest Disney film as well. And in between, we're showing, foreign language, Almodovar, and we're showing some real kind of indie hits there as well, things that possibly wouldn't get onto screens if it wasn't for Cinema City being in existence. So I think people love it because it's kind of a window on the world set in an amazing environment.
It began as a celebration of St George's Guildhall, which is a medieval guildhall in King's Lynn, the only theatre in a medieval guildhall in Europe and the largest surviving one in the country. It really is a very important historic building. The festival now lasts 2 weeks. Initially it was just one. It's 2 weeks, and what we seek to do is to have top quality and a really wide range of events. This year, I think what we have achieved is we invested more in the programme, not taking scary risks, but because of the quality, we felt that we could get the audiences. So we invested more, and we have been rewarded by the biggest box office take, which we jolly well needed to make sure that we could pay for them. Even when we announced the programme, people were immediately spontaneously saying, this is a terrific programme because of the variety of interest in it.
I feel that the festival brings a sense of occasion to Norwich and Norfolk, that once a year for 17 days, 3 weekends, the city and the region is transformed. People come out and celebrate, meet each other, experience arts and culture, and get a sense of how vibrant and exciting and what a cultural city they live in. We have artists from a very big spectrum, many different art forms. We also have great talent here from Norfolk. Most recently, we had Luke Wright at our festival, and we continue to work with Luke. We had Lost in Translation Circus and 2 other Norwich artists with Norwich origins, Laura Hopkins, the set designer, and Jane Leaney, who was Ariel in Our Tempest, the Great Yarmouth Hippodrome last year. We also worked with a group of fantastic Norwich teenagers on our music theatre piece Wildlife.
And the winner of the EDP People's Choice Award for Best Large Organisation is Cinema City.
Thanks everyone who voted for this, on behalf of the staff who work tirelessly day in and day out to provide a warm and friendly environment for everyone. They're going to be incredibly grateful, and this means a lot to them, so thank you for voting. Thank
you. It's now on to Best Small Organisation or Project. The nominees are Sheringham Little Theatre, Norwich Arts Centre, the Madam Market Theatre, and now let's see the films.
It's the best organisation in the world, to be honest. We're not lying. It is little. It's only 180 seats, but we have a fantastic cafe bar. We're also a cinema, and we're one of the last surviving traditional repertory theatres. So it's a very exciting place and just a wonderful, busy community venue.
It creates a venue for us for all seasons. So you can get excited for the summer. It's the summer rep. You can get excited for the panto. You can see all the things being rolled out.
The Little Theatre is right in the heart of the town, so it really is part of the community, and we only survive because we're very well supported by fantastic volunteers. I mean, we're very lucky in that we're nearly self-financing. We only get less than 10% funding, so it's up to us to make sure that we keep that theatre alive.
The last year has been just as exciting as the last 3 years that I've been there, really, to be honest with you. It's a fantastic venue. The highlights for me have been, again, sort of a lot of the work we do with our Live Art Club, which is a weekly performance art event that we do, which I'm particularly passionate about. Obviously, we do a lot of rock and roll shows, world music, jazz, folk, comedy, dance, theatre. You know, we do a little bit of everything. So Sonic Youth is working really well. Sonic Youth is a regular showcase for 14 to 19-year-olds. We do a regular showcase in the bar, and then if we're really liking what they're doing and we're helping develop their performance skills, they get to come with us on little tours. So this year we managed to take 3 bands to Latitude, which was fantastic. We're just there as a place where young bands and musicians can come together, hang out, talk, chat, get to know each other, build the next scene for Norwich.
The Madder Market's really special because we're predominantly run by volunteers. So we have lots of people from all over Norwich and Norfolk, from a range of different ages, coming in to help us to make sure that we can put shows on for the public to enjoy.
It's just the love of the place and the sense of family and just the passion of being there. Nothing is ever the same 2 days running. We welcome anybody through the doors. So all of our volunteering spaces are open to anyone and everyone. Same with our auditions. And it's just a lovely sense of community there.
They call it the gem of Norwich, and it really is. It's a very special place. People just come sometimes to sit in our bar and write letters to people just because they feel at home there. So I think it's a place people feel welcome to come to. And hopefully more people will start coming in and enjoying it as their space as well.
And the winner of the EDP People's Choice Award for Best Small Organisation is Sheringham Little Theatre.
About Norfolk is how... Yeah, well, apart from you and I know that, Nick. The best thing about Norfolk is how all the arts organisations really support each other. It's a fantastic county to live in, and I feel really honoured that Sheringham Little Theatre was there with Norwich Arts Centre and with the Madder Market. Fantastic venues. So this is for all of them, but particularly for Sheringham in that I know that our volunteers, and it'll just mean so much to us. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
I mean, we're so lucky. Norfolk has such a rich tapestry of arts organisations, and we all actually really support each other, which makes it particularly special. But it is really hard work, and we're very lucky at Sheringham that we have fantastic volunteers, a team of over 86 volunteers, and they work tirelessly to make sure we keep that theatre open. And it's open, 7 days a week. It's a lot of work, but it's really worth it. It's just fantastic.
And finally, then, to the Best Individual or Act Award. The nominees are Gennady Ivanov, Hayley Evanet, and the Nimmo Twins. Let's have a look at the films.
The name of exhibition is The Asylum. It explores ideas around asylum and migration. It was in the Undercroft a few weeks ago. So the idea was to transform the Undercroft gallery with eclectic mix of thought-provoking works by many different local, international and British artists. We had 2,600 visitors during 4 weeks, 176 thoughtful, great comments from the spectators. And it was a very exciting exhibition. Some people said it's one of the best exhibitions for many years in Norwich.
In the year and a half that I've been here, it's been just crazy. I was cast in Midsummer Night's Dream by Strange Fascination. We did a little bit last year as well, but recently we did a tour of Norfolk and I played Puck and Hermia, which was crazy because it was like 7 seconds, apparently, quick change. So I'd go off as Hermia, I'd come straight back on as Puck. I also did Stuff of Dreams, tour with Forgotten in Norfolk and Suffolk. I played 9 characters in that. So that was also I quite like the high energy, crazy, plenty of character sort of roles. I've got a few things in the pipeline, but the great thing about acting is that you never really quite know what's around the corner and what's going to come up. You can't plan too far ahead. There's such a great theatre scene here. There's so many theatres and there's so many artists, creatives, and I've been lucky enough to meet quite a lot of them, but I still think I'm only scraping the top of the iceberg.
Hello East Anglia and hello Norwich. That's where I was meant to be filming this, but I'm not. I'm here in London. Hello, my name is Carl Minns. I'm 1/3 of the Nimmo Twins, along with this lovely fella here. This is Owen Evans at the bottom of the screen there, and Nigel Wilson, our technician. And we do a show called Normal for Norfolk. We've been doing it for 20 years, and our show this year was called The Country Members. And for that show and for our work, we've been nominated for the People's Choice in this year's Norfolk Arts Awards, sponsored by the EDP. And it's really nice to be up for a People's Choice Award because our audiences are incredibly important to us. We started off with no audience and built them up over 20 years. And this year the audiences were absolutely fantastic. So to get a People's Choice is really, really nice. What we do is, we've been taking the mickey out of Norfolk Now for 2 decades and people don't seem to mind it, which is really, really nice. And we hope to be doing it for many, many years to come. So thank you very much for nominating us.
And the winner of the EDP People's Choice Award for Best Individual or Act is the Nimmo Twins.
Thank you. Blimey. Wow, that was very nerve-wracking. We've been going 20 years and we've never been nominated for anything, so it's really, really nice to... Oh, sorry, I didn't want the sympathy. No, it's lovely. So thank you very, very much. And as I said in the piece, because it's a People's Award, we're really dependent on people turning up and laughing at themselves and laughing at what we're doing. And if they didn't turn up, it would just be an incredibly expensive rehearsal. And I want to thank Peter Wilson, who's retiring this year, who's been fantastic, who put us on, I think he's an icon of theatre in Norwich. Owen can't be here tonight because he's watching television. No, he's not. He can't be here tonight. And this is Nigel Wilson, who's been with us for 20 years as well. He's an incredible technician. I want to thank everybody. Caroline, who's put us on at the Playhouse for so many years, and everyone that's voted for us and everyone that's come along and laughed at themselves. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
I went to pieces. I thought, well, maybe there's a few funny things I can say and a few earnest and nice things. And I fell between two stools and was neither particularly funny or particularly heartfelt. But it did mean a lot because it was the People's one as well. And we've had such amazing audiences this year. We had 8,000 people and hope another 3,000 coming in January to see the show. And they've been brilliant, and they've come back year after year after year, and the audience has grown with us, and over 20 years, a lot of people have been with us since the beginning, and without them, we could never have done it, and that's what I should have said on stage and didn't, so I'm making up for it now.
Move on to our final award of the evening. This is the Lifetime Achievement Award, sponsored by the Manor Market Theatre. And the award goes to an individual or organisation that's given so much to their art form in support of other artists, reaching numerous audiences and participants, providing something exceptional for the local community over a long period of time. And to present the award and to tell us just a little bit about the winner, please welcome Chair of the Board of Trustees of the Manor Market Theatre, Susan Seddon.
Thank you and good evening. We always feel at the Manor Market that being a very long-standing organisation ourselves, this is the right award for us to be sponsoring. And this year, this award goes to a remarkable man who has worked for over 2 decades in the service of the arts. A local boy who served in the Royal Navy and worked around the world as a chartered surveyor for Norfolk businesses, he has for over 2 decades been responsible for arranging the programme of one of the county's most respected chamber music series. Let's have a look at the film.
Our winner was involved in the Norfolk Arts Festival from a very long time ago. I suppose our winner must have been involved from the early 90s. He is the greatest enthusiast of music that I think I've ever come across. He is someone who is passionate about being involved with musicians and music and listening to music and encouraging others to listen to music. So his enthusiasm was infectious. He was able to attract great musicians, artists to Norwich and persuade them not only to play for the Norwich Festival, but also to play in his wonderful chapel for his evening soirees that he used to give for the people in Norwich. So an artistic director would say, we've got a programme and we need something that'll be 53 minutes. He would say. It would be the Trout Quintet by Schubert. That is 53.5 minutes. Is that okay? Our winner is the most likeable, amusing, delightful man that you could ever meet. He is just full of fun, and I never saw him stressed, never saw him angry or irritated, and there was always that guffaw at the end of whatever he said that was deeply endearing. So I'm absolutely delighted that you have achieved a Lifetime Award for your contribution to Norfolk and to Norwich and the music that you brought to this wonderful place. So I'm delighted and many congratulations.
And for a change, you are still in suspense. Many of you will have guessed, but I can actually open the envelope and reveal something. Usually they've given it away on the film. So, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sadly, retiring from the Norfolk and Norwich Chamber Music Society this year, this Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Roger Rowe, MBE.
Thank you for prompting me. Oh my God. I'm just very, very moved that I should have been chosen for this. There was lots of people who have done a tremendous amount of things for the county, particularly Peter Wilson on stage. But for me to get this nomination is one of the proudest moments of my life. I'm totally surprised, but I think my aim has always been, I've always been very proud of Norwich and Norfolk. And I've always felt that we should get the best possible people here. We deserve to have the best possible people. And when people say, how did you get so-and-so here? I say, you just ring them up and ask them. And after a time, they can't refuse. And I'm sure that Peter has been doing the same thing over his lifetime. So I'm very honoured. Thank you all very much indeed. Thank you.
Well, it's a hugely emotional moment. I must say I've never been so surprised in my life, and it was wonderful to hear Nicholas Bacon talking. I didn't know who he was talking about to begin with, and I suddenly realised it was me. And I feel very humbled. It's been a wonderful, wonderful surprise.
So thanks again to Emma Knights, everybody at the EDP, to Rob Setchell and Mustard TV. Everybody here has helped. We will see you all again in 2017. God bless you and good night. See you downstairs. Thank you.
Norfolk Arts Awards on Mustard TV, sponsored by Norwich High School for Girls. Proud to celebrate and support the arts in Norwich and Norfolk.